Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his statement to Radio New Zealand on June 17, 2016, that extending paid parental leave to 26 weeks, quote, would add, when it's fully in place, about $280 million a year?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, no, I was incorrect and should have used the numbers in the veto certificate. This is a useful opportunity to clarify the numbers. The government, well, just listen.
Order.
The government currently spends about $280 million a year on paid parental leave. Labor's proposal, once fully implemented, would cost around $120 million per year on top of that, or $100 million per year net of tax. Net of tax, the proposal would cost $280 million over the next 4 years. However, I vetoed the bill based on the government's view that this is unaffordable now, particularly in the light of other spending priorities that we have. In short, the policy cost too much, and that's why we vetoed it.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Why did he repeat that incorrect figure 4 times throughout that interview, even when challenged by Guy and Espiner on the accuracy of it, given that just the day before he had issued a financial veto certificate stating that the additional cost in the 2018-19 year of full implementation would be just $116 million. How did he get it so wrong on 4 occasions?
The question's been asked in a very lengthy fashion. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, because I confused the $280 million over 4 years with $280 million a year.
4 times, Mr Speaker.
Order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary. Order. Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Well, can he explain then why did MPs Paul Foster-Bell, Sarah Dowie and Mark Mitchell all claim in their committee stage speeches that the cost of the bill would be $445.8 million over the next 4 years, which was further embellished by Brett Hudson, who upped it to $466 million when the ministers...
Order. The question should be doubtful whether there's ministerial responsibility, but I'll let the minister...
Point of order?
Order.
Oh, sorry.
I'm allowing the minister to address the question.
You can answer.
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's been a welter of numbers around the whole policy, but I'll just remind the House what the current policy is. That is, it was 14 weeks paid parental leave. This government extended it over 2 years to 16 weeks and then to 18 weeks. That currently costs about $280 million a year, and we vetoed the extension.
I apologise, Minister. Point of order.
Past due time now. He's finished.
Order. The member will resume her seat. If she wants to raise a point of order, I'll listen to it. But it's not about filibustering question time.
So, no, Mr Speaker, my point of order, and I was referring to the fact...
Just hear the point of order.
Okay, the point of order is that I didn't ask him about how many weeks there was. It was a very straight question.
Order. And it was a question for which there was no ministerial responsibility for what various back members said. I should have ruled it out of order in the first place.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Does the minister recall using the same tactic when the bill was first drawn in 2012, telling the public it would cost an additional $500 million over 3 years, when he had in fact received official advice before making that statement, showing the true cost was a maximum of $285.6 million over 3 years? Why does he keep more than doubling the cost?
Order. The member needs to sharpen up a supplementary question. The Honourable Bill English. Order. My patience will run out with Sue Moroney. We've had lengthy supplementary questions that strictly are out of order. I'm trying to assist her get an answer, but if she continues to interject when the minister rises to his feet, I see no point in carrying on. Honourable Bill English, briefly.
Oh, Mr Speaker, the member needs to sharpen up. She needs to sharpen up her ability to win electorate seats after I think 5 losses. Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker.
Order. 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 This is a point of order.
You got it right.
I certainly hope it is. Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, you ticked off the questioner for trying to put together a couple of examples of what the question was about, and then the minister gets up and starts off with a blatant insult, and you did nothing, as usual, about it.
Order. And in retrospect, I probably should have said to the minister that the answer wasn't helpful, but we've had a series of questions that have been very politically loaded. When you get such order, when you get questions like that, it tends to lead to quite political responses from ministers. We will move on.
Supplementary question, if I may, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I just want to warn the member, provided it's in line with standing orders, I'll hear a supplementary. If it's a lengthy one like we've
Point of order.
No, I'm speaking to the member. I'll accept a supplementary question, but that's got to be in line with standing orders.
Of course, Mr. Speaker. Why is the National Party so determined to mislead New Zealanders on the cost of extending paid parental leave to 26 weeks by more than doubling the costs that have been determined by government officials?
Order. I'll leave the question to stand, but when the answer is political, the House should not object. The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the national government is keen to extend paid parental leave as we can afford it, weighed up with other alternatives. For instance, on the 1st of April, the poorest, over 100,000 families in New Zealand, got $25 a week extra per week. We could have used that money to extend paid parental leave, but we thought the best balance was some extension in paid parental leave and $25 a week for all families on a benefit with children. And we think we got the balance about right.
Point of order.
Order.
Point of order.
Point of order, Sue Moroney.
Mr. Speaker, that was a very interesting answer, but at no point did he answer the question about why they're more than doubling the
Again, I
costs.
invite the member to go back. It started off by saying, why did the National Party do something? The minister has responsibility for the government, but certainly not for the National Party.